Antonio's Sports Center.
Mike Gundy is out at Oklahoma State after 21 seasons following a 1-2 start to the season, and they now owe him $15 million in a buyout. Potential replacements already mentioned in connection with the opening are UTSA's Jeff Traylor, Texas State's G.J. Kinney, North Texas's Eric Morris, and Oregon offensive coordinator, formerly UTSA OC, Will Stein, just to name a few local ties.
If you smoke, take it outside. Get the facts at don'tpassgas.org.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, SASportsStar.com. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all joining me, however y'all may be joining me, whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial, SASportsStar.com if you're listening via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching online, that's right, we stream all of our shows live online on YouTube at SA Sports Star on YouTube. Go there, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show like everybody in the bullpen already up to, or feel free to call in the old-fashioned way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Lots to get into today before we get you to Rangers as they get set to open up a series with the Minnesota Twins. That's coming at 6:30 at the bottom of the hour. But until then, earlier this morning, in reaction to the Monday night game, and especially that loss by Baltimore, it sets up a very interesting game next weekend where the loser, they find themselves in a pretty daunting hole at 1-3.
Let's discuss last night's game then in a little bit of depth here. We've seen the Ravens now 3 times. They are 1-2. Yeah, this is the team, and going into last night, I thought this was probably the best team in football. Now that I have seen them give up 40 points to 41 to the Bills, 38, that's 79 points in 2 of their games.
Well, Detroit's a juggernaut on offense. I mean, are they leading the league in scoring? I'd be shocked if they're not.
Scored, I think these are the 2 leaders.
Yeah, so they have given up, but they've also scored a fair. Baltimore is the one team in the league at 1-2. You go,
you're not worried?
No, I'm not. But 2 fumbles from Derrick Henry and an ill-timed, a bad call for a run from Lamar last night that ended up in a fumble. 3 plays, they're undefeated. You know, I really don't. Now, there's lots of questions. That defense is so un-Raven-like. It's hard to get
even
past
with
that.
The fumble last night. Did it really feel like the Ravens were going to certainly win the game?
Well,
I never even got that vibe. I felt like they were in trouble the whole time. It felt like.
Well, they were never in control. I'll give you that. But at halftime, it was tied, and they had counterpunched. They'd done just as much as Detroit had. It felt like it was anybody's game. It didn't feel like it was out of Baltimore's control. That fumble from Derrick Henry was just like the Baltimore fumble. Just something of all the things you expect might happen to Baltimore. That's not it. And It's happened twice now. So I think there's film on him. I think they've decided he carries it loose in certain situations and go punch it out, if you can get past the stiff arm.
3 games, 3 fumbles.
So it's worthy of consideration. But you take away what appears to be what was at least thought to be random, then Baltimore's right in there with everybody with a couple of tweaks and some injuries away from a better defense, but they're still undefeated, and I wouldn't want to play them. Well, they're obviously beatable, but they're not of all the 1-2 teams out there. They're the ones that I think can rest the most comfortable.
Well, I love, and like I said, that's why I think makes the NFL so great is we get Baltimore at the Chiefs next week, and the loser of that game is like back against the wall now. And I love that. I love that we've got early. We're going to be a quarter, not even a quarter of the way through the season. and there's going to be panic in the streets
An
in one of
elimination
those two
game.
towns.
Well,
I
it's
love
true.
it.
It's an elimination game.
Well, listen, Baltimore's schedule is not an easy one. I mean, obviously they play in the AFC North, where, I mean, even like I said this last week and people laughed at me. The final score of the Ravens-Browns game was not indicative of what kind of football game that was. The Browns are a tough football team. They're going to
punch you.
They will hang around with some teams. But at the Chiefs next week, then they have a 3-game homestand, Texans, Rams, and Bears. And that includes their bye week. So basically the entire month of October, they don't leave the house until the very last day, and they play the Dolphins in Miami.
If Baltimore loses, they give up at least the hope of home field. If Kansas City loses, they're done. There is no playoffs.
Really?
Oh, Kansas City ain't going to playoffs with what, 1-4, 1-3?
1-3?
Ain't going to the playoffs.
The Chiefs' schedule is, I mean, really not much more forgiving when you consider the AFC West is also a pretty tough division. But there is, like, after the Ravens game, Jags, Lions, Raiders are their next three.
It'll cure what ails them, but that gets them to 500. You know what I mean? At 1-3, the Red Sea will have to part. We're talking about miracles at that point.
Yeah, and you still got a game at Buffalo on the docket. You still got another one with the Chargers, who look pretty good. Like I mentioned, the Lions, the Ravens. Not an easy road right now. And then, of course, a trip to Dallas. Also, for
I'd
Kansas
be
City.
terrified of that.
Well, I'm not kidding. Dallas can score points, and if they can put Kansas City in a game and say, "Hey, you got to score 30 to hang with us," Kansas City's capable.
I'm being facetious, but by that point, honestly, AJ, I don't think it's going to matter.
Yeah. Well, Kansas City may be this. We may be seeing the end of the dynasty.
1-3. You at that point, it'll be the first time that I can remember since Mahomes was starting that things were out of Kansas City's control.
But it's wild that you're like if Baltimore loses, you're not that worried.
I still think they're a playoff team. Now but the problem with Baltimore continuing to lose this one would be now you're in the situation where even if you make the playoffs, which you probably will, you're going to be on the road and you're going to have to beat Buffalo in Buffalo if you think you have a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And right now, I don't think Baltimore can do that.
And if we say they're 1-3 and their win was against the Browns, I don't know that I can feel great about them.
The only thing is the difference being, I know Baltimore's capable of it, but they stepped in their own crap. Derrick Henry fumbled the ball in 3 straight, 2 of which basically lost the game. So, but for the things that I still consider rather random, I think they're in a different boat. So while their record is one thing, I know what I saw, and I feel like they're more capable of winning on the road and getting something hot. I have yet to see Kansas City put together a decent offensive drive. I mean, one where I felt like, oh, there they are. Not once. I haven't seen that yet.
I get it, but they're also without their top 2 receivers. They haven't had a run game. Like, they're getting Xavier Worthy back this week. They're getting Rashee Rice back here at some point very soon. Like, I wouldn't write off Kansas City yet, and there are rumors circulating that they may be looking to acquire Alvin Kamara, who is a running back that would not only solve some of the running game issues that they've had, but also be a wide receiver in the pass game for them. Like, I'm not writing Kansas City off. They're like the Brady Patriots. Until they're dead and buried, I refuse to write that team off, and this may just be a one-off that has caught up to them, much like we saw very quick lulls in the Patriots dynasty. Very quick, out in the first round kind of, and back up to the top in the AFC Championship. They're missing their top 2 weapons. They don't have a great run game, but it's something that they can easily fix. And can you imagine if Patrick Mahomes had an Alvin Kamara to throw to out of the backfield? It would be insane. So writing them off is a fool's errand too, I think. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves because we are so fixated on these numbers. Like, this team has never overcome 0-3, 1-3, 0-2 starts. This percentage. Teams are going to lose games. And I think one of the most important things I saw in here was from 31 Eagles fan. If Buffalo doesn't take this opportunity to run away with it, they're never going to get it done. And I believe that is an absolute fact because Buffalo has everything set up for them right now to run away with everything in the AFC. And if they don't put some distance in between the Chiefs and the Ravens right now, it's going to be a tough road to hoe when it comes to the postseason. And look, the Texans are in a division where 0-3 isn't an end-all be-all for them. They have 5 games against their own division where they can easily make up ground back. And it is early. Like 10-6 is 10-6. It doesn't matter where those 6 losses come from. You're going to go on runs in the NFL. Is it time to hit the panic button, especially with the move today of getting rid of CJ Gardner-Johnson just 3 games into the season? Well, Indy Kalu joined the Blitz a little bit earlier today to talk about it. We'll talk about it with you next as well, right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down!
It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is Right.
Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Mike Rowe here with another random fact. Those cracks on your walls aren't just cosmetic. They could mean your home is sinking. Whether it's drywall cracks, exterior cracks, or sticking doors or windows, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to stabilize your foundation.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/sports. openphone.com/SPORTS.
Progressive knows there are 2 things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the best part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. Let me tell you something. It is so good to be right. In Prize Picks, there's no better way to prove your knowledge than to play Prize Picks. And Dallas Cowboy fans, you know every game counts, so don't miss a moment of the action this season on Prize Picks. Make your picks on your favorite Cowboys every week and ride with the boys all season long. You got all kinds of play, all kinds of ways to go. Right now, Prize Picks is offering $50 in lineups. That's money you can play with. Use it and prove how good you are. Prize Picks, there's only one place to go. All you need to know is more or less. You can pick your players, you can pick your game, but we got the place for you. It's Prize Picks. And remember the code ALAMO. ALAMO's the one you need. If you put that in there, use the code ALAMO for your $50 free play. That's $50 when you use the term ALAMO. You know the game. Go play it in the right place. That's Prize Picks. It's so good to be right, and you're always right when you head to Prize Picks. Go get it today. Download the app, use the code ALAMO, and you can come by and thank me later.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement. iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Fear not, 31 Eagle fan. It's cold in the studio. I wear hoodies here. Plus, outside doesn't faze me that much, so it's okay. I can deal with it. I know most can't. I can. Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Lots to get into. C.J. Gardner-Johnson surprisingly cut this morning by the Houston Texans. His time came to an end. Indy Kalu, former Houston Texans TV analyst, joined the Blitz earlier today to talk about that move. And is it time to start questioning CJ Stroud? A lot of CJ talk with Indy Kalu. A lot of initials with Indy Kalu here on the day. But here was Indy Kalu joining the Blitz.
I got to ask you, first of all, about the surprising news today. CJ Gardner-Johnson released after 3 games. We were all shocked here at the station. What about you?
I just found out 30 minutes ago, and I was pretty surprised. Now, you hear the rumors that, he may not be the best locker room guy. And again, this is all speculation on my part. But when you hear those rumors and then you're going to a team that you're expecting when you sign, oh, this is a team that's going to win the division, and you start 0-3, like your true character, starts to shine. So maybe that was a situation where they saw his true character and they didn't like it. So yeah, that part is a surprise. And I'll say this, as nice of a human being as DeMeco Ryans is, he has a smile that brightens up the entire room. He's still a dog. Like, he's still a middle linebacker that was taking people's heads off in the NFL. If you're going against the culture that he's trying to put out there, especially when times are bad, and being that cancer, for lack of a better term, he'll get rid of you quick. So I think he's showing everybody, look, just because things aren't going the way we wanted, I still expect you to act a certain way.
In the decade plus in the NFL, not everybody in the locker room's a nice dude. You're not friends with everybody. So how bad does it have to be to get released 3 weeks into a season? And locker room character is one of the reasons, according to sources, as to why.
No, that's a great question, but it's not about, because you're right. I played with a lot of jerks. I played with a lot of dudes that off the field, we didn't have anything in common, or I didn't even respect the way they carried themselves off the field or outside of the locker room. Emphasis on off the field or outside of the locker room. But even if there is that jerk, you have the same goal in mind. And when you go into that locker room, which is sacred grounds, when you're in those meeting rooms and we're all trying to complete the same goal, you're expected to conduct yourself a certain way. Hell, let's be real. I played with some guys that probably just didn't like me, like the way I looked. But when we're on that field together, we all had the same goal and we fought for it. So, yeah, you're right about it. Like, there are some jerks out there, and switch it up. There's some nice guys that might not buy into what Coach Minix is saying. That's more disruptive than, a jerk who actually buys into what they're saying. So, no, it doesn't matter what type of character they have, but if they're not all in with the message that's coming from the top, that can be very disruptive.
Well, and I would have to imagine, Indy, if a guy's in the locker room just complaining and bad mouthing the coach or whatever, and man, they should be using me different. I mean, that's got to take a toll on the other guys, I would think.
No, it does. And, I'm putting it all together. Again, I'm speculating and trying to fill in gaps. With the way the defense has been playing and they're still 0-3, I would not be surprised. And again, I have not heard anything, but this is what we do on Sports Talk Radio. We just fill in the gaps, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's, man, Will Anderson, you had a great game. Too bad the offense isn't doing their part. Man, you're wasting your career over here. So I would not be surprised if something like that is what's going on, especially the way the Texan defense is playing.
Indy Kalu here on the Blitz. Aaron Wilson tweeted out friction behind
Arian
the
Wilson
scenes.
Or Aaron Wilson?
Aaron
Wilson or Arian Wilson?
Tweeted out friction behind the scenes, criticism of teammates, complaints about his role, including wanting to blitz more frequently, and he asked for a trade request. Now, this is a guy, won a Super Bowl with Phillies, been in Detroit, been in the programs that I would think D'Amico would want. Like, hey, you know what it was like in those programs. Bring some of that here. You're not getting that. But as a Texans analyst, how was C.J. Gardner-Johnson on the field through 3 games? How much is his departure going to affect this defense?
Real quick, I know Aaron Wilson, and he won't mind being called Arian Wilson. It was just real quick.
I was just leaving that one alone.
Yeah,
I thought
exactly.
he might know something that I didn't. I was going to text you later going, what the hell was that?
Oh, no, I actually thought you said Arian Wilson. That's why I was like, hold on. But anyway, to answer your question, it always felt like, I don't know how closely y'all watched him, but I watched him very closely because I knew him from the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was injured for most of preseason. I still felt like he was still trying to get his legs under. It didn't look like the C.J. Gardner that I was used to seeing. I don't know if it was the age. I don't know if it was, not being 100% coming back from the injury. But I don't think they're going to miss much, especially with Jimmy Ward expected to come back.
And Jimmy Ward, no build, off the commissioner's exempt list, probably coming back soon. Look, it's surprising, but also not when you know a lot of C.J. Gardner-Johnson's history. Call your loved ones, check on your friends. You never know what they're going through in life because the simple, hey, how you doing, could change your life. I appreciate all y'all for rolling along today. We got Rangers coming up next here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Football is back, baby, and Underdog is the best place to make your picks and win money all season long. You can play it in Texas, too. Guys, it is fun, it is exciting, and it's a great way to get in on the action. Playing is so easy. You pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. And you get it right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. You can play with as little as $1. Is Dak going to go higher or lower on passing yards? Will CD score a touchdown or not? All that makes the game a lot lot more fun. Get in on the action at Underdog Fantasy. Download the app now. Sign up with promo code ALAMO to score $50 in bonus funds when you play the first $5. That's promo code ALAMO. Millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog, make picks